I became my dream version persona in that year. I achieved everything I have ever wanted, and I became so safe and so loved within myself that after that, there was no chance that I was accepting something that was bare minimum. There was no chance I was accepting something that is not meant for me because I was trusting myself. In 2023, I was going through one of the hardest times of my life because at the start of the year, I didn't have a job and a house at the same times. So I was technically homeless and jobless for 3 months straight. And after that, my year was going pretty well. But then at the end of the year, I found out that my partner at the time was cheating on me. And that's exactly how my 2023 was literally one of the worst years yet. But you know what? The beauty of rock bottom is that there's only way up from there. So even though at the end of 2023 I was feeling so sad, so worthless, and genuinely felt like I don't have anything to give, I decided to stop that thought and I decided to pack my bags and go to Bali for a solo trip. And that's when my life started changing, my friends. So I gave myself 2 weeks in Bali to actually process my emotions and write down what actually happened. What did I miss? And how can I improve my life? And I came to the conclusion that my self-worth was pretty low. I did not trust myself and I didn't trust my intuition. And I didn't trust the universe. And that's because my body was literally trying to tell me that this person is not right for me. My body would reject it. Now, I'm a type of person who doesn't get anxious in her life. Like, I'm a very safe person within myself. But when I got into that relationship, my body was completely rejecting him. I would feel anxious all the time. As soon as he would leave, I would feel like it's like, I don't know what's happening. I would just feel like panic in my heart and I would be so restless at all times. And I was rejecting that feeling. I was rejecting it. Why? Because I just wanted validation from him. I just wanted to feel like I can get love, that I deserve love. And that's what I realized on my Bali trip is that every human being only craves safety and love. Those are the only two things that every human being craves. And that's because of the evolution, right? Back in the day, we wanted to survive. And the only way to survive was to be in a group, be in a community, feel like that you belong. And if you were to go against them, you would literally die. And so our bodies just want us to be accepted, just want us to be loved because they relate being in a community, being accepted and being validated by other people as being safe. That's the only way you'd survive. But now times are different. And so there has to be a balance between your self-worth, listening to your inner self, listening to your intuition, validating yourself, while also maintaining your social life. That's what I learned on my Bali trip. And so in this video, I'm going to tell you how I learned how to build a deep relationship with myself, validate myself, have a high self-worth, and what did I do in 2024 to completely change my life? Because in 2024, I literally flipped my life around. I was a completely different person. I was so scared to speak in front of the camera, but I built my confidence to speak in front of the camera and I grew my Instagram following to 25,000 followers. I also started a podcast with my best friend. I also launched a brand called You're a Sunflower, which is a self-love brand essentially. I also started to learn swimming and I made a video about it and it literally went so viral and I took a full year off from dating. So I decided to focus on myself. I decided to build self-worth within myself. I decided to have such a deep relationship with myself that I respect myself, that I trust myself to a level that there's no way I would accept anything that is not what I deserve. That's exactly what I did in 2024 and I completely changed my life. So now I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do it too. Before we get on to everything that I did in 2024 to actually completely change my life and build that deeper relationship with myself, to build that validation within myself, I just want to give you this disclaimer that everyone is a different person. Some things might not work for you. I'm just going to tell you what I did, and that literally helped me build a deep relationship with myself because I was consistent and I believed that it would work for me. It might not work for you, and that's completely okay. So take what resonates and leave what does not. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. So, as I mentioned before, that every human being craves love and safety, and that's it. They need to feel loved and safe within themselves, and when they don't, that's exactly when you go out and seek it from other people. So, I'm going to tell you what I did to create safety within my body, mind, and soul, and also feel so much loved by myself that I don't crave it from other people. Let's get into it. So, first, I'll talk about how I created the level of safety within my mind. Number one activity that I did was sit in silence every single morning. When I sat down in silence along with my tea every single morning and I gave my thoughts the space that it needed to just be, it started feeling safe. It started feeling like there's space for it. And I would not judge it. That's key, to not judge your thoughts and feelings and emotions when they come. Just sit and observe without judgment. Right there. Just sit and observe. When I started doing that without judgment, my thoughts felt safe. My thoughts felt like they could express themselves. I took it up a little bit notch and I would go for walks in nature. And when I would go for my walks in nature, I would not listen to any music, any podcast, or I would not call anyone. That would really help me connect with nature and myself as well, because I would be walking and I would be listening to this birds chirping and I would be listening to ocean sounds and wind, and that would really help me connect with my thoughts, my feelings and emotions and the universe. So my mind felt safe with myself. My mind felt like it could just be, and that's how you create safety within your mind. It really helped me. And something that I've started doing recently is morning pages, where when I wake up in the morning, first thing that I do is write everything that is going on in my subconscious on a piece of paper. Now, because when you just wake up, your conscious mind is almost half asleep. Everything that's actually going on in your subconscious that you might not even be aware of comes out and goes straight onto the piece of paper. That's how it's literally just stream of consciousness right onto the paper. You get to know so much about what is happening in your brain. What are you thinking about? What are your limiting beliefs? It can be a little bit scary, but it gives your deepest thoughts a place to be. Your mind starts feeling so safe with yourself because it feels seen, it feels heard, it feels like it can just be without judgment. I promise you, if you start doing these three things, sitting in silence, going on nature walks without any sound or music, and doing morning pages, it will help you. It will help your mind feel safe within yourself. The next thing that I did to help my body feel safe within myself was these two nervous system regulation techniques. Number one was whenever I would go for my walks in nature, either in the morning or in the evening, I would sit on the grass. I would remove my shoes and I would remove my socks and I would touch grass. I would literally touch it. There has to be like body to grass contact. There is literally research on it. It would help me so much. It would help my brain fog go away. It would give me this instant internal peace and calm. I cannot express how it feels, but when you genuinely start doing this on a daily basis, you would feel brain fog leaving your body. You would feel so comforted. You would feel like you are this child of universe and universe got your back, and it's just really hard to explain it if you haven't done it. But try this technique and see how your body slowly starts feeling safe. You start trusting your body more, you start trusting the universe more, and you start trusting the process more. Second thing that I did to create safety within my body was some inner child work. This is a little bit more hard to do because it's a little bit more intense, but essentially there are a lot of inner child meditations that you can follow on YouTube as well. So if you're new to this, I would highly recommend do that. But I would sit and I would close my eyes and I would go in a specific memory in my childhood where I felt neglected, where I felt unsafe, where I felt not loved, where I craved attention from people around me, but I didn't get it, I would go in those specific memories and I would edit them in my mind. So if something happened that made me feel unsafe, I would change it and make it that I was safe in that moment. I was okay, I got it, I was loved, I was taken care of. And when I would change that childhood memory, my inner child felt safe. My inner child felt loved, and my inner child felt taken care of. When you do this inner child work, it can be quite uncomfortable. It can be very daunting and intense. But once you've literally gone through it, you will feel so safe within your body. You will feel so loved and you will feel so taken care of that you would thank yourself for doing the work. I promise you. And the final thing that I did to make my soul feel safe within myself was to set intention. Now, when you set intention before any action that you do in your life, you are trusting your soul and you're trusting the universe that you got this. So every single time I would spend money, I would say stuff like, I'm so grateful that I have money to spend. Every single time I would earn money, every single time I would start to record my content or post my content, I would say that I got this. I'm so grateful that I am receiving this money. I'm so grateful that I'm a content creator and I have the freedom to be in front of the camera and talk my mind out. I'm so grateful that people are waiting to hear what I have to say. And when I would say these intentions out loud, when I would say these affirmations out loud, my soul felt safe within myself. My soul felt it could express itself freely. And that's how you create so much safety within your mind, within your body, and within your soul. And that's what I did. Now, let's get on to the next one. How to create so much love within yourself. This part is actually based on the framework of 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. In this, we are going to look into how to create love within yourself through physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, and receiving gifts. So, this is a framework that he talks about in his book, but it is more for a relationship. But we are also building a deeper relationship with ourselves. So we're going to apply these 5 love languages to ourselves and give it to ourselves. So here's what I did in 2024 that helped me build this so much love within myself. Number 1, for physical touch, every single night before I went to bed, I would massage my feet and I would thank my feet for doing so much work for me. When I would literally massage my feet, I would feel so loved by myself. It was literally me touching myself and telling myself that thank you so much, my feet. Thank you so much, my body, for being there for me. A lot of the times when I would crave touch or love from other people, I would give it to myself. I literally kiss my own shoulders and I would do like that, and I absolutely love it. It made me feel so loved by myself. It might seem odd, but it actually really helps you love yourself. So try it and tell me how it goes for you. There's also something that I did to create love for my body. A lot of times, a lot of women actually feel not so proud of the body that they're in. So something that I do that has really helped me, now this might come across as a little bit awkward as well, but get yourself a mirror and put it right in front and undress yourself and look yourself in the mirror. This is a very, very uncomfortable exercise, but try it from 30 seconds, then go on to a minute, then go on to 3 minutes, then go on to 5 minutes. Slowly and slowly, you will see that once you start looking yourself in the mirror naked, you start falling in love with your body. Rather than taking out these, picking yourself on these small little things, you would actually start loving yourself. You will actually start falling in love with your body. You will thank your body that it is there for you and it does so much for you. And you will build so much love for your body. Genuinely, I'm not even kidding. Okay, that was physical touch. Now we'll get on to acts of service. This is very interesting. Now, I live in Australia, and here there's a lot that you have to do for yourself. So, something that I started doing for myself that my future self would thank me for was every Sunday I would do a massive reset. So my weekly resets was my acts of service for myself. So I would take out 2 hours and I would meal prep every single week. So I have food, or at least base of the food, taken care of for rest of the week. So I'm not spending time on every single meal. Second thing that I did was reflect on my previous week and plan for the next week. When I knew exactly what I'm doing at what time, I would do it and I would show up for myself. And so doing my weekly Sunday planning was so important for me. It was genuinely to make my future life better. And acts of service is literally just that, making your future self life better. Third thing is quality time. So this is very important. This is again my morning time. It was so key for me to spend time with myself. And when I say spend time with myself, it is genuinely just you and your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, nothing else. Genuinely. So I would not look at my phone, or there would be no tech around. My morning time was sacred to me. That was time for just me and myself. So I would wake up actually an hour earlier than I have to, and I would make my tea and I would sit in my bed and I would just have the best time with myself. Sometimes I would listen to music, but sometimes not. I would just sit and be. I would go for my walk. And that's how I started spending so much quality time with myself. And that was actually also the time that helped me be so creative, because I would just be and sit. And there was so many original thoughts, feelings, and emotions that would come in my head, and I would write them down, and I would be so comfortable, and I'm like, these are my thoughts, I can talk about them, these are my creative downloads that have happened with me, that have literally come to my mind. So I'm going to talk about it. That's how I started spending time with myself. There's also a second thing that I did that really helped me, was to go on solo dates. I would plan them on a weekly basis. Sometimes that would be Friday night or Saturday night. I would take myself out on dinners. I would go to art museums, shopping. One of my favorite things to do was to go to the Central Market here in Adelaide, and I would just go and shop and go around. There was this shop called House of Health where I would buy organic stuff, and yeah, it's just the best time ever when you actually carve out time for yourself and you do the things that you've always wanted to do, and you stop waiting for other people to come with you and you just do it with yourself. You create so much love within yourself. You give yourself the time that you crave from other people. You give it to yourself, right? Exactly. So these are the two things that I started doing for my quality time, and it really worked. The fourth thing is words of affirmation. Now, this is very interesting. When you're in a relationship, you crave other person to give you appreciation for what you do, say good things to you, and basically appreciate you when you achieve something and celebrate you, right? We are doing that for ourselves when it comes to words of affirmation. We are saying good things to yourself. How do you talk to yourself when no one's watching? There's something that I started doing for myself, which was in my diary, I would write, "My love, Sanchi, I'm so proud of you for doing XXX. I'm so proud of you for achieving XXX." And that single-handedly changed the way I talk to myself, changed the way I see myself. I felt so loved by myself because I would actually tell myself that I'm proud of myself for doing things. Second thing I also did was I would always celebrate little things that I achieved or did. So when I actually built the confidence to speak in front of the camera and I posted my first video on Instagram, I took myself out and I bought myself flowers. I love pampering myself, and I love telling myself that I am a goddess and I can do whatever I set my mind to. And when I actually appreciate myself for doing the things that are hard, for getting through the hard things and respecting myself, my self-talk has single-handedly changed the way I see myself. So I feel absolutely loved by myself when I talk to myself in a respectful manner. The final thing that I did that actually very much helped me build a deep relationship with myself and fall in love with myself was receiving gifts. Now, I used to always think that receiving gifts is like spending a lot of money, but that's not true. It can be very little things that you do for yourself that make you feel happy and loved as well. So, I started doing a few things in here. First, I would buy myself flowers whenever I wanted to because I don't need a man to buy me flowers. I can buy flowers for myself. The second thing that I started doing was spending money on traveling as well because I love traveling. I love having these experiences, and I prefer gifting myself a trip rather than gifting myself a dress. But that's okay. If for you it's different, that's completely fine. That is what I recognized about myself, and I decided to honor that about myself. Something else that I started doing, which almost took no money, was to do painting and scrapbooking because I realized that I actually love like doing these creative outlets. And even though it might sound like not receiving gifts, it actually is, because when you're in a relationship you really appreciate somebody giving you a handwritten card, right? So why not do that for yourself? I would literally do my scrapbook. I started doing scrapbooking where it would be my experience scrapbook. I would write down every single thing that I have experienced, and I would paste pictures and I would make it pretty, and that is a gift for my future self, for my current self as well. So exactly what I started doing, and it literally changed my life so much. So these are the ways that I started incorporating so much love within myself through these 5 love languages, and I felt like I was on cloud 9. This paired with No Boys 2024, I became my dream version persona in that year. I achieved everything I have ever wanted, and I became so safe and so loved within myself that after that, there was no chance that I was accepting something that was bare minimum. There was no chance I was accepting something that is not meant for me because I was trusting myself. I was trusting in myself, and I was trusting in my abilities to give myself the love and the safety that I deserve. This was a very intense video, but I just had to tell you. Try these activities. You don't have to do everything all at once because it can be a lot, but take any single thing that resonated with you and start doing it in your life from today. Start building the love and safety that you deserve in yourself, and that's how you become your own validation and stop waiting for someone else to give it to you. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!